Our speaker today is Chelsea Green. Chelsea was drawn to mindfulness-based practices at the age of 19 in hopes of finding a more proactive way to cope with stress. Over the years, she has developed her own daily mindfulness practices, which have helped her overcome several years of suffering with an eating disorder and move beyond her own destructive relationship patterns. Chelsea is a certified meditation instructor through the American Institute of Healthcare Professionals, and she plans to complete her master's in counseling with a focus on mindfulness-based therapies. She graduated from Virginia Tech with a BS in biology and psychology, and she is currently teaching mindfulness-based techniques in workshops and classes throughout Southwest Virginia. When she's not teaching or practicing meditation and yoga, Chelsea can be found painting commissioned portraits and murals or hiking with her rescued pit bull, Anu. So let's welcome Chelsea Green.
I think I'm bound to have to make an adjustment here. Yeah. Wow. This is my first time being here, and this is a special place. I've always felt, I grew up in Bristol, and I've always felt like I didn't really have my people around. I felt very different, just my view of the world. My mom's here. She grew up in California. I'd say she's probably the biggest influence to why I turned out a little odd compared to the rest of them. That being said, I walk in here and I just feel like these are my people, which really what that consists of is a willingness to love no matter what. It's an ability to tap into that unconditional love that we're really all looking for. And so I titled the talk and the meditation today, Changing Your Relationship with Thought. This is something that I teach in my workshops and even in my classes, the meditation yoga classes. That's really my focus is mindfulness is this non-judgmental present moment awareness. And when you start practicing mindfulness, you realize just how many thoughts you have. And it can be a little scary. And I even reached a point in my own journey where I was very mindful, but it was mindfulness of all of the crap that was in there. And I thought, why even do this? It's better. I was better off before I was even really aware of this stuff. That brings me to a quote from Marianne Williamson. I was just talking to my mom about it yesterday. Would you rather endure the sharp pain of self-discovery or the chronic, dull ache of living unconsciously? And that's really where I came to in that crossroads with mindfulness was this might hurt, becoming aware of all the conditioned thought patterns that I had, those same thought patterns that led me down into the throes of an eating disorder. And we all have that, mine manifested into an over-identification with the body. But someone else's might be alcoholism. Someone else's might be depression. We all have these, I'd call them manifestations of the ego. So when I talk about ego, I know that we all come from different backgrounds here, but one of the best ways to really dive into what I'm talking about when I define the concept of ego is if you guys would entertain me here for a moment. Could you raise your hand if you are conscious right now? Yeah, okay, so we can agree that we're conscious. There's something in us that's seeing, there's something in us that's hearing. And when I ask you to do that, you have to take a moment, a mindful moment. What is she asking, first off? And then you have to become aware of your being. Oh, there is somebody who's listening. There is somebody who's experiencing this moment right now. And so we have spent a lifetime developing what I call the ego, and I'm not the only one, around that sense of being. It's been our desperate attempt to define what that sense of self is. And part of that's necessary to function in society. We need to have beliefs. We need to have opinions. We need to have a sense of right and wrong to fit into a society. What happens, though, is that we take those beliefs and those thoughts and those judgments as truth. We believe that those constructs and those conditions that we've built around that self, so that includes your name, your profession, your grandmother, you're a mom, a dad, all of these things that if someone said, could you tell me about yourself, you might name off. So I like to use this image of someone who's dying of thirst in a desert. If I was in a desert and all I needed was water, I could stand there in the desert and talk about water and think about water. I could draw a picture of water. I could describe water. I could do it until I literally fell over dead. Because none of that represents the truth of what water is. What I need is the truth of water. What I need is to take that class and drink it. And so a mindfulness practice, a meditation practice is a lot like that. You know, really life is a lot like that. We are a lot like that. I can stand up here and I can talk about stepping outside of that identification with the ego, that sense of separateness that we've developed. But until we actually experience what it's like to just be, that consciousness without the conditioned thoughts and the identity that we hold around ourselves. So what that means really is we're dropping the name. We're dropping all of these things that we think we are. We're dropping a concept of age. We're dropping the ego. And that makes it sound like it's an active process. I would like to say it's more of a passive process. It's a letting go. A remembering who we really are. So I thought I would lead us through a meditation that I find helpful to explore this on your own. And then I'll open it up for the last few minutes to see if anyone has any questions. Okay. All right, so that's working. I'll just stay right around here. If you'll just take a comfortable seat. In my world of meditation, there's no right or wrong way, so I want you to just be comfortable. And you can begin to let your eyes close. And if that doesn't suit you this morning, you can just take a gaze on the back of the chair or maybe at the person's head behind you, but nothing too distracting. And so begin to just feel the breath as it comes in and leaves. Notice if you have sensations around the nose or the mouth. Notice if the air is coming in and is it filling the chest, or maybe it's expanding and releasing in the belly. Now, I'm not asking you to change any of these properties of your breath, but just notice them. Noticing the sounds around you. Noticing your feet on the floor, your body in the chair, your back against the chair. And begin to scan the body if you can for any tight places, any tension. A lot of times this is in our neck, in the shoulders. If you feel a lot of tension in the neck, go ahead and give your neck a nice roll. You can give your shoulders a big roll. Just bringing some awareness and some physical movement into those parts of the body if you feel that they're particularly tight. And I'd start to ask you if you could even pay attention to the muscles in the face. So you may notice that the forehead is clenched. The muscles around the eyes and eyebrows might be a little tense, and see if you can just let that go. It may feel as if this third eye space, the space right in the center of the forehead, begins to open as you let the eyes and the rest of the face relax. Let the jaw relax. Let there be space between your teeth. And go right back into just noticing the breath. It may even be helpful for some of you to place your hand on your belly so you have this reinforcement of the motion. You're feeling the belly rise and move the hand. And you may have already started to notice that you've got thoughts coming in. These thoughts may be describing your experience. They may be complaining about something. They might be planning. See if you can just notice those thoughts without pushing them away, without trying to get rid of them. We're just seeing they are part of the experience. And if at any point you feel that you're really being taken by thought, you're really getting lost in thought, just take your attention right back into the body, right back into the breath. Softening the body, feeling the breath. And now I'm going to give you a mantra, a question to begin to repeat to yourself. And the question is, who sees this? You can repeat this question as many times as you like. Who sees this? And whatever comes into your awareness, whatever you notice about the body, about the mind, who sees this? And see if you can just rest in those spaces between the question. Who sees this? Letting go of the mind's attempt to figure that question out. Focusing more on feeling rather than thinking. And if you notice that your thoughts have maybe carried you away, Just gently guiding that attention back into the body. You can begin to open your eyes now. We'll bring our hands together at heart center and close this meditation. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. So, I'd love to take the mic around, or maybe Mike will do it. If there's anyone who would like to just talk about, if that, what their experience with that was.